Today, we're talking about Edward Bond. He was a British playwright who didn't just, write plays. Nope. He basically threw cultural grenades right onto the stage. His work was designed to be provocative, to be challenging, and most of all, to force a conversation.
So let me ask you this. What if a play was so genuinely shocking that it actually forced an entire country to completely rethink its own rules on censorship? It sounds pretty extreme, right? But for one playwright, that's pretty much exactly what happened.
Okay, so the year is 1965, and the play is called Saved. It hit the stage and presented this vision of London life that was just gritty, raw, and totally bleak. It was a million miles away from the polite little drawing room dramas that audiences were used to, and it absolutely stunned. At the very heart of the massive controversy was one single, unforgettable scene of just unbelievable brutality. It depicted a group of disaffected young people stoning a baby to death in its own carriage. The public and critical backlash was, as you can imagine, immediate and incredibly intense.
But see, this wasn't just violence for the sake of violence. Bond was holding up a mirror to society. His argument was that this horrific act wasn't random. It was the direct result of a society that was so callous, so neglectful, that it allowed its own young people to become completely empty and violent.
And this idea, this concept of theater being a mirror to a broken society, well, that's totally central to all of Bond's work. He wasn't just trying to entertain people, he was trying to diagnose a sickness that he saw everywhere around him. A perfect example of this came in 1971, when he decided to take on Shakespeare's King Lear. He took that classic tragedy and just twisted it into this brutal modern parable. Bond's Lear lives in a world of systemic violence, a world of moral decay. He basically turns a family's personal downfall into a chilling critique of 20th century power.
And you see these themes pop up again and again and again in his work. He was obsessed with how power works, with class struggle, with the real consequences of war, societal violence, and systemic oppression. For him, these weren't just topics. They were the very engine of his drama.
Just take his 1975 play, The Fool, which is all about the aftermath of war. He literally drops us into this haunting, post-apocalyptic landscape to really dig into what happens to human suffering, to innocence, when civilization itself is just shattered.
But his work was so much more than just politics. Bond was also deeply fascinated by the inner worlds of his characters, the universal struggles that really define the human condition for all of us.
In his play The Sea, the setting itself basically becomes a character. The ocean isn't just a backdrop of water. It's this vast, kind of surreal symbol for the subconscious. It reflects all the characters' inner turmoil and really blurs the lines between what's real and what's just in their heads.
He even turned his critical eye on the role of the artist. In a play called Bingo, he imagines the final years of William Shakespeare's life. But it's not a straightforward biography. No, it's a deep dive into the moral responsibility of a creator. It explores that tension between your own personal ambition and the impact your art has on the world.
And the scope of what he covered was just immense. He tackled gender and power in the woman, the deep pain of isolation in the lonely, and even the really complex feelings around motherhood, grief, and identity in plays like The Child and The Transfer. Through it all, he was just relentlessly exploring what it really means to be human. So, after a whole career that was basically built on confrontation, what is Edward Bond's real enduring legacy? I mean, why does his work still matter so much today?
Well, you can kind of boil his legacy down to three key pillars. First, he absolutely shattered traditional storytelling on stage. Second, he forced audiences to look right in the face of uncomfortable social truths. And finally, he was a huge champion for drama and education because he really believed theater could be a powerful tool for change.
Ultimately, his entire body of work is this unflinching, brave exploration of our world. He looked at the systems that hold us down and the personal struggles that make us who we are. And he absolutely refused to look away. And he wouldn't let his audience look away either.
And that really leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? Bond believed that art has a duty to make us confront uncomfortable truths. So, if we look at our world right now, what are the uncomfortable truths that art should be forcing us to face today?